gonna keep drawing hearts.
Oh, I pressed start.
Oh.
Now we're starting. Hello!
Hey! You should leave that in.
I'm going to. Welcome back to Explaining to my roommate. Man, has it been
a minute. It's all Reagan's fault.
It's not my fault.
Sorry.
It's not my fault. I love Renee Rapp.
I know.
That's not the topic of today's
we went on spring break and then we just
and then we're in the last quarter of our senior year of university and we're struggling.
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough out here.
I'm ready to be done.
No, so true.
I can't do it anymore.
No, I low-key, I don't want to be held accountable to my academic obligations anymore.
I'm so over it.
I'm so tired, and it's worse. I think I have my second worst professor I've ever had in my last quarter. Like, he's terrible.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
It's rough. I literally skipped class to go to work. That's how much I hate that class. I was like, I'd rather just be making money right now.
So fair. Anyway,
sorry.
So, we did leave off last episode on Easton's. We talked something Dragon Age.
I think it was
religions?
like religions and like lore around the first game. I don't know.
But so it's now my turn to talk about a topic. So I'm pretty sure last episode I said I was going to start the series of Reagan Explains Sports, but I've decided against that. Purely just because I have another topic I want to talk about more.
Mm-hmm. So true.
Which is the entire reason for this podcast. Is to talk about things that I like. So,
I thought you were about to say that this topic was the whole reason, and I was like, I'm pretty sure it's because we annoyed each other too much.
Probably. Anyways, so today's topic of conversation is my all-time favorite show. Is number one. Okay, Can't beat it, and that is NCIS. I love it so much. It's my favorite thing in the world. I'm currently rewatching it again. I made it all the way up to the new episodes that are streaming. Actually,
I feel like
this season finale was yesterday for this season.
Oh,
so
crazy.
That's really sad.
I feel like you're always rewatching it.
Yeah, it's one of those I like rewatch it and I finish and I make it to the new episodes and then I go, I'm gonna take a break, and that lasts about a week, and then I start rewatching it again. Anyways, so. Today I'm going to be explaining to you, Easton, the different characters that are in the show, just so you have a background of these characters. So then, my plan is every few episodes or so, I'm going to just roll a random number, and that's going to correlate to one of the episodes of NCIS, and I'm going to explain that episode.
This is a real treat for me because I do know a bit about NCIS. Like, we've watched it together quite a bit. Yeah. I have a favorite character. So like, this is a treat for me. I think I'll do good on the questions, I hope.
I don't even know what the questions are yet.
That's true.
Later. That's later, Reagan.
Okay.
Anyways, but just a little brief, just so I know Easton knows what this show is about, but just for our 3 listeners.
My mom, Reagan's grandma,
and occasionally Maddie.
Yep.
No, I know a few other people, but
my coworker, she was like, I streamed her song and she listened to one episode of our podcast, and I was like, thanks.
So NCIS stands for Naval Criminal Investigative Services. And this is an organization like the FBI, CIA, NSA. They basically investigate crimes related to the U.S. Navy and Marine Corps. So that could include anything from, murder, which is the main one that they do, terrorism, espionage, so on and so forth, kidnapping. All of those things are covered. But I have spent quite a few hours today going through every season. And we're going to talk about all of the characters, a few disclaimers. If you have any intentions of watching NCIS, don't listen to these episodes. I'm not holding back. Spoilers will be dropped. I'm sorry. I can't talk about the show without, it'd be really boring. So, Spoilers will be, so this is spoiler warning for, like, literally everything.
Yeah.
NCIS related. But the way that I have it lined up is we're going down through every season, adding on characters as they come in each season. So, I guess we'll just get started. So, first man up to bat is Mr. Leroy Jethro Gibbs, who, like, the entire, like, just show revolves around him. Like, he's the main guy. So he's the leader of the team. He is typically known as, like, the dad. He's the dad to everybody. And so basically he was in the Marine Corps. He was a scout sniper, and he went on multiple different tours. He was blown up in Desert Storm. And yeah, I think it was after he returned from being exploded in Desert Storm is when he retired. He left. But he has this list of rules that he uses to go about life, and he spreads those rules to all of his people. Most of the time it's his team, stuff like that. He doesn't talk very much. He likes to keep to himself. He's a man of few words.
He's just staring at people.
He's a gray-haired fox, as one agent has called him. I think it's funny. One thing that I did for each member is I kind of talk about their family a little bit. So he has a mom and a dad. His mother died. She committed suicide, but she was dying of cancer. His father's name is Jackson Gibbs. And then he has his wives. Let's make a note of the plural, wives. He's had in total 4. So first we have Shannon, who was his first wife, who he loved dearly, and we will go into Shannon a little bit later. Then we have Diane. I also don't use a lot of last names in this. I kind of just want the first names. And then you have Rebecca, and then Stephanie. And that is in order of when he married them. And then we have his children. Has one. Her name is Kelly. Now, the main plot point for Gibbs in his life is that his first wife, Shannon, and his daughter, Kelly, were murdered by Pedro Hernandez because they witnessed some nefarious actions that he was doing. And so, I guess the best way to describe it, deal with his guilt, he murdered Pedro Hernandez.
Yep, so true. Relatable.
And that no one knows. No one knows. He is, I only know he's played by Mark Harmon. That's the actor. And he was a series regular from season 1 to season 19. So, that is Leroy Jethro Gibbs. The other thing is he also hates technology.
So relatable.
He just only uses a flip phone. He hates computers. He hates it all. Anyways, our next character is Caitlin Todd. She was originally a USSS special agent, which is just this secret service.
Yeah.
So her family consists of, she's the youngest of 5, and her sister is a psychologist who comes back to help occasionally in other episodes. I don't remember her name though.
It's okay.
Sorry. So she left working for the Secret Service because she was dating someone else in the Secret Service, which is a big no-no. Yeah. She was about to get fired, so she just resigned. But she then joins NCIS and is, like, taken aback by the lack of not following rules. They just don't follow rules. They do whatever they want. It's very, like, there's less structure from the Secret Service, and she is very off-put by this. And then the other thing is her and Tony, which we'll learn about in a little bit, have, like, an unwritten thing.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't call it unwritten.
Okay, not stated out loud.
Okay. Until a dream episode.
Okay. Anyways, this is they're in love, and it's not, like, hidden.
No, it's not.
But Gibbs has a rule, and that's don't date your coworkers. So you know what they don't do?
Unfortunately.
Anyways, the big thing about Caitlin is she only lasted from season 1 to season 2. She was assassinated.
Yeah, I was really fucked up.
By Ari Haswari at the end of season 2 because he wanted to pain Gibbs. He wanted to just punch him in the gut. The thing about it, though, is she could have killed Ari. She had the chance to.
Mm-hmm.
And she looked in his eyes and said, no, he's good.
Wrong-zo.
Incorrect. So, I'm sorry for anybody who's listening to headphones. That was probably really loud. I don't care. Anyways, so that is Caitlin Todd, or known as Kate. So, next we have Anthony DiNozzo, or Tony. So he was present from seasons 1 to season 13. He is the very special agent. He's a senior agent, so he's like he's the next under Gibbs in seniority. I have this bullet point, kind of a jerk sometimes, a misogynist a lot of the times. However, you can really see his like character development. Yeah. Like I was actually listening to a podcast episode the other day, with Michael Weatherly, who plays Tony, and was like, the reason why Tony has that character is because at the time when he was filming this, he didn't give a fuck. Yeah. He did not care. He was over it because he thought that this show wasn't going to take off the way that it did, and that created the character. So he, his family consists of, he has his father, Anthony DiNozzo Sr. His mother died.
A lot of dead.
Yeah, there's a lot of dead.
Dead moms.
Common thing. And there's another lineage of his family that I'm not going to talk about just yet. I'll talk about later. Some things for him that are little points we need to know about is he nearly dies from the bubonic plague.
Oh, I remember that. See, that was the episode where I was like really into Kate and Tony. I was like, and then I was really.
So anyway. He almost dies from the bubonic plague. He does not. He's okay. He lives. However, it is very common. He's the go-to for undercover ops.
Yeah.
They're like, I need someone to go undercover. Tony. Because for some reason, they just like always want him to lie to his team. I don't know what it is. They're like, you can't tell your team about this. And I'm like, why do you do this? Anyways, I have on my last bullet point for Tony. He has a thing for Kate and Ziva.
Yep.
We'll come back to Ziva in a little bit. Next we have, he's my favorite.
I know.
My favorite, Mr. Timothy McGee. He's my favorite character. I love him so much. He came in the middle of season 1 and then wasn't promoted to a season regular until season 2. But he's still on the show. He's still cracking. I love him. He's my favorite. So he's just a big old nerd. He's just a little geek. He's from a Navy family. His father was a Navy admiral. His mom, we don't hear too much about his mom, other than the fact that we know she's remarried and is no longer married to his dad. He has a sister named Sarah. And then what else? We meet his grandmother at some point. Her name is Penny. And then in the most recent season, we find out that he has a half-sister.
What?
He has a half-sister.
I didn't know this.
Yeah, it was because they did a DNA. Him and Delilah, who Delilah is his wife.
Yeah.
D.O.D. Delilah, did a DNA test. And I think it was one of those. So the half-sister has 2 moms. And his dad donated sperm.
Donor.
He was a donor. So that's fun.
That's insane.
He also has 2 kids, twins, Morgan and John. And then, other than the many other really fun facts about him I won't go into because I could talk about McGee forever. He's a writer. He has a book series called Deep Six. Well, that's the first one, Deep Six, and then, Deep Seven, Deep Eight. But they're murder mysteries, and they're really fun. We are now moving on to my second favorite character. Love her. We have Miss Abby Shuto. She was present from season 1 to season 15. She is the forensic scientist for the team. So she does all the DNA sampling and breaking down elements that they find at crime scenes. She's known by Tony as the happiest goth you will ever meet. She loves animals and calf pow. That's her
that's her whole thing.
That's her whole shtick. Okay. And she's basically Gibbs's daughter. They have just this connection, and it's awesome. Next we have, I'm not done with Abby. I don't know why I keep not talking. So her family situation kind of gets kind of fun in later seasons. So she had 2 parents. They were deaf, so she's fluent in sign language. They're both dead, unfortunately. Got a lot of dead parents up in here. But she has 2 brothers. Now, the first one is Luca, who she grew up with, and they grew up together. And then we find out in later seasons that Abby was actually adopted by Luca's parents. And Abby has another full sibling named Kyle. And so that was a really fun, it's kind of a hard episode to watch because she's really struggling with that. Yeah. But yeah, that's Abby. She also has a hippo that makes farting noises. I feel like that's something I needed to comment on.
Yeah, it is present.
It is very present. Yeah. So, now we have Dr. Donald Mallard.
God.
R.I.P.
Oh my God.
Gone too soon, even though he was really old.
No, but truly gone too soon. He should have lived at least 1,000 years.
Literally. So he was present from season 1 to season 21. He was the chief medical examiner. In later seasons, I want to say season 15, he moved over to being the NCIS historian. So he loves to talk. He is a certified yapper. He has so many stories. He's so fun to listen to. His family consists of his mother, Victoria, who is a recurring character throughout the beginning seasons, who sadly passed away. And then we find out in a later season that he actually has a half-brother named Nicholas. And then we learn a little bit about his father, but his father's not too much of a prominent character. But yeah, so they call him Ducky because of his last name Mallard, which is a type of duck.
Ah. I thought it was because of Donald Duck.
No. However, he does have 2 duck references in his name, which I think is really funny. But it is because the mallard is a type of duck, and that's why they call him Ducky. And then we have your favorite.
I know, my favorite.
Jimmy Palmer.
Jimmy. I'm sorry. Okay, I have an opinion. Everybody in the show is always so mean to Jimmy. They call him the autopsy gremlin. I'm sorry, Jimmy's hot.
He is.
He truly is.
I'll give you that one. He is really hot.
And I'm just what do you guys are so mean to him, implying that he's ugly. What? Because he wears glasses? This is a Disney movie? God, anyway.
Well, actually, you want to hear some other funny things I was reading about him?
What?
He has mild diabetes.
Damn. Anyway. No, but I really like Jimmy. He's so awkward. He's such a nerd. He's so dumb. I love it. I mean, he's not dumb. He's obviously very smart. Yeah. But he's just so awkward. I feel like we both share something in common. Autism. Okay. That's just my opinion.
Got it.
Anyway, Jimmy's my favorite character.
I don't have to do much explaining about Jimmy.
No.
Houston already knows too much. But he's the assistant medical examiner. He starts in the middle of season 1, after the original assistant medical examiner gets shot or something.
Yeah, I remember that.
Anyways, and I didn't really care too much about him.
No.
He is sweet. However, he is easily intimidated.
Yeah.
He tends to talk out of turn, but he is extremely humble, and he just wants to spread goodwill to everybody. Yeah. His wife consists of his wife, Brina, who unfortunately died. She got COVID.
Yeah.
And died. I cried
no, it was
so hard on that episode. Like, I was not expecting it. No. Anyways, he also has a child named Victoria, after the late Victoria Mallard. She also refers to Ducky as Grand Ducky.
Aww.
I think that's really cute.
That's so cute.
And the last bullet point I have for Jimmy Palmer is just abs.
No, for real.
That's the last bullet point I have for Jimmy Palmer. Okay, now we have moving on. We have so these characters that I just mentioned are all within the first 2 seasons. So for the first 2 seasons, the characters don't really change until season 3 is when we start getting our new characters in. So first new character, Miss Ziva David. Yeah. She's my favorite also, but like not my favorite. She's my favorite like girl, boss woman.
Yeah, well, there's only 3 of them, so.
There's 4.
Oh, right, I forgot about, are we talking about the director?
No, we're talking about the new one, because...
Oh, I didn't know that there was a new one.
Anyways, so Ziva David was originally a Mossad liaison officer, and then in later seasons she decided she doesn't want anything to do with Mossad anymore, and she wants to become a U.S. citizen and become an NCIS agent for realsies. She's a trained assassin. Her father is the director of Mossad, and he trained her to be a part of his like way of life since she was a kid. One of the like most reoccurring things about Ziva, she tends to struggle with like common English phrases and metaphors, obviously because English is not her first language, but it's something that they just talk about, and someone's always correcting her. I think it's funny.
I also think it's mostly funny.
And my favorite part though is when she says something that's supposed to be like wrong, like not the common, and she goes, "I meant what I said.
I meant it. Like I know what I said this time.
This is what I meant to say. Mm-hmm. You are incorrect." So her family consists of a couple of people. So we have her father, who we learned about, which is Eli David. He's the director of Mossad. Her mother, we don't know too much about her except for the fact that her and her father split because he cheated.
Of course, they always do.
He cheated, and she left. And then she has some siblings. So, ready, everybody? We're about to hear a common name we've heard before. She has a half-brother named Ari Haswari. Yes, the man that assassinated Caitlin Todd is Ziva's half-brother.
Yep.
She murders him, though. She kills him to protect Gibbs.
Yeah,
Pretty much, yep. And then she has her younger sister, Tali, who unfortunately died in a bombing. I don't remember what bombing it was, but...
There's been a few.
Yeah. And then I mentioned not too long ago that there's someone else a part of Tony's family tree that I was going to come back to, and that is because Tony and Ziva have a child. Her name is Tali. Also, after Ziva's late sister. Cutest little bean. She's so precious. Aww. And yeah, so that was the only thing. And then my last bullet point is her and Tony are in love. They're so in love. Yeah, they actually have a new series coming out, and they're filming it this summer. Aww, I'm so excited. It's so exciting for you. It's called NCIS Tony and Ziva.
It's just them?
Yep. It's just them. Pretty much. Okay, and a new character that was introduced season 3 is Jenny Shepard.
Oh, yeah.
So she is the new director of NCIS, and the big thing about her being the director is because she was a woman.
Yeah, people really didn't like that.
They did not
like that. I was getting real mad sometimes. I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, no, they were real upset that she was a woman. And you know what? I don't care. I think... No. I mean, now hear me out. She did get on my nerves a little bit. I didn't like the way she talked. She did get on my nerves. But girl power.
Yeah, all to you. I mean, like, sometimes I was kind of like, man, you're taking out some personal stuff on Gibbs right now.
Mm-hmm.
But most of the time, she was, like, a good director. Like, she was competent. Like,
yeah.
I was like...
But I have her and Gibbs go way back. They're in love with each other. Pretty much it, but, like, Gibbs just can't be in love with anybody else other than Sharon.
Shannon?
Shannon? What did I say?
You said Sharon.
My bad.
They're gonna come after you.
I work with a Sharon.
Damn.
That was probably it.
Alright.
But they were old partners, and they did a lot of things together.
Yeah, to say the least.
So one, like, major thing about Ginny Shepherd is she's obsessed with Rene Benoit.
Oh, yes.
Because she blames him for her... Sorry. She blames him for her father's death. She dies in a shoot-off, in season 5. Because of something she did in her past, came back to bite her in the ass. We then find out, though, that she was actually dying from health problems. She had about 6 months left to live anyways, so that's probably why she died the way why she went out in such a blaze of glory. So, after Jenny dies, we then get introduced to Leon Vance, who started season 5, and he is still on the show today. He was replaced as director after Jenny's death. He is typically known as the last good man in DC, because he is the only, I guess you could say, politician per se. He's not a politician, but he's the last, like, director, man who works with politicians, blah 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 blah, who, like, still is a good person.
Yeah.
And he's called that multiple times, like that, like
just frequently.
And I really like director Vance. I do truly like him. He made some bold moves the first few seasons.
He really did.
But we then find out that they were, like, there was, like, reasons. Like, he doesn't do anything unwarranted. Like, he thinks things through. So his family consists of his wife, Jackie, who unfortunately died.
She's dead? I didn't know about that! What do you mean? Yeah. She was always so mean to Gibbs. I loved that about her. No!
I told you no spoilers would be, like, saying.
No!
She died.
A lot of dead wives.
Yeah, a lot of dead people. And then he's got 2 children, Kayla and Jared. He's a big motif, I guess, for him is, like, boxing. That's a very common, like, theme that he's revolved around. He's got pictures of Rocky not Rocky, Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, because Rocky's a fictional character.
Rocky's a fictional character. I knew that. Anyways, Leon Vance, he's nice. So, after that, it kind of, like, stays consistent. The, like, characters, like, stay consistent for, like, a few seasons. And then, halfway through season 11, we get introduced to our new main female lead.
Yeah.
So after Ziva leaves, we have Eleanor Bishop, or Ellie. She was an NSA analyst. I actually was watching this episode while writing this up. She was an NSA analyst. She remembers almost everything that she reads. And she's often seen, like, sitting cross-legged, or for probably, like, Gibbs and McGee and Tony, who are, like, adult men.
Yeah.
Cannot sit in said position, so that's why it's always, like, seen as weird.
Oh yeah,
But she loves food. She doesn't stop talking about it, and she, like, that's how she, like, remembers everything. She connects everything to the food that she eats.
Oh.
But I like her. My mom thinks she's annoying, but she, like, dealt with her. But I really like her. So her family consists of a couple of people. She's got a mom and a dad, who we meet her mom in an episode, but she's got 3 older brothers. She's got an ex-husband, Jake. Gross. Oh, I also should mention that when I'm talking about these characters, I'm talking about their characters and their lives as of the newest season.
Okay.
So, like, stuff has already happened. we'll probably talk about how certain things happen when I go over episodes, but like I'm talking about it as like.
So is she like married in season 11 when she starts?
Yes. So when she starts, she's married, and then gets a divorce. And
Good
then
for her.
She's got an ex-fiance, Kasim, who, let's just say, they became ex-fiancés not by either of their will.
What's that supposed to?
He got murdered.
Okay, so she has a dead fiance.
So she's got a dead fiance.
Okay, let me just amend my notes.
And then as what's the word I'm looking for? You know when like shows like to do the same thing over and over again?
Repetitive?
I guess. They have another like Tony Ziva thing with her and another agent.
Oh, okay.
That we are about to meet. His name is Torres.
Is that the one who?
What?
Is it the one whose actor I don't like?
Yes. No, okay. I also do not like that actor. Anyways, that's Bishop, and then we move on to Nick Torres, who starts season 14. So he originally is an NCIS undercover agent. So he would go undercover and work all these covert ops, and he did that for I want to say like 11 years, which is a pretty like it's a storyline that they focus on because everybody's like, I don't know how you can do it. Like, you're undercover for so long. But it's pointed out in later seasons that he was like a loner, and he was very like kept to himself, which is the reason why he was so good at it. Because he never like really like latched on anybody.
Yeah, never got attached.
Till he did. To Miss Eleanor Bishop. That was an interesting stuff he had to go through. So he's very charismatic with a good sense of humor. His family consists of his mother and his sister, and then he has a father who walked out on him when he was younger. He loves to work out, and his like he's very uneasy about anything involving the dead. Like, it's a common occurrence. He just talks about.
Why is he working investigating murders?
Well, it's like supernatural death, like ghosts and like stuff like that, spirits.
I thought he was just like real grossed out by dead bodies. I'm like, you are in the wrong line of work, buddy.
No, he doesn't. He's afraid of being haunted.
I see. Well, he should be.
Okay, and that is Nick Torres. So next we have Alex Quinn. She was only there for like a season, so I don't have very much about her. But she was a FLETC agent, so she was training all of the new agents. And she decided to join Gibbs. It was a very weird dynamic because there was 5 of them. There's almost always 4 of them, but there was like 5, and it was a really weird dynamic. She left after a season to take care of her mother, who had Alzheimer's.
Oh.
And yeah, that's Alex. Not much about her. Then we have Clayton Reeves, who I don't have too much about him too, because he was just kind of a reoccurring character. He was a MI6 officer who worked as a liaison, was really close with like Bishop at first, and then also became super close with Nick Torres. And the only like known family member we know about him is his mother, who died. Another dead mom. But that's kind of like, he did some undercover stuff, but I don't know. He was kind of like a pop in and out character. He didn't do too much. He was there though from season 13 to season 15, and also should mention Nick is still on the show. He's still currently a character. Then after Reeves, we have Dr. Jack Sloan. She was there from seasons 15 to season 18. She was a former Army lieutenant and was a prisoner at war. She was captured and tortured by, I don't remember his name, Masayoon, I think is what they refer to him as. She's a senior agent and also operates as a psychologist. She tends to do a lot of like analyzing character, kind of like Criminal Minds.
Yeah.
kind of stuff like that. The only, like, family we know about her is she has a child that her name is Faith, she put up for adoption when she had her because she was, let's just say it was not her choice to have a child. That's how I'm gonna phrase it.
Okay, well, we all know what you mean.
Yeah. But, one of the big things about her is, she has feelings for Gibbs, and it's like, you can kind of tell that, Gibbs also kind of has something for her. There's something going on there. But yeah. I'm yawning as if I went outside today.
Yeah,
okay?
You went out into the sun.
I did. Okay. So after Jack Sloan, we have Casey Hines.
So many.
There's a lot.
And these are the ones that I don't know, so I actually have to, like,
listen.
Yeah.
So, she started in season 16. She started as Ducky's assistant, because he was writing his book, and she was helping him organize his entire life around this book. She's still currently on the show, but she's now on the show as the forensic scientist. So she took over when Abby left, and she is now the lead forensic scientist of their group. She is funky, she's funny, she's best friends with Jimmy, and she has, that we know of, 3 family members. We have her mother and her sister, and then we know of her father, who is dead. Not really important, but yeah, she, one of the things notably that I can think of right now is whenever they were, like, coming back from COVID, she has, like, this wall of masks that are hanging, like, different, like, patterned masks.
Good for her.
It's really fun. Okay, so now we have Jessica Knight, who started in season 19, and is still on the show now. She took over for Bishop because Bishop left in season 18. She was formerly a React agent, which is the agents who go into, like, hostage situations and try and talk people out of those scenarios, or like suicide attempts.
Yeah.
Like that. So she joined the team after she lost her entire React team to a bombing.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. That was unfortunate. They still aren't, like, that entire episode, they're like, how did you survive? Because she was, like, in the building.
She was in the building?
She was in the building when the bomb went off, and somehow she survived. So, we know her 3 family members. So she has her sister, who we meet in one of the seasons. Her mother, who they have kind of a rocky relationship, and then her main family member that they talk about a lot is her father, because he is also an NCIS agent. He is head of the field office in Japan, and one of the big things is she wants to make sure that, like, people know that she got this, what she has, not by her father, like, that I worked for this.
Not a Nepo baby.
No.
Well, I gotta write that.
Because I'm like, I want to say at one point her father didn't want her to be an NCIS agent, but I'm not sure. She speaks fluent Mandarin.
Oh.
I think it's Mandarin. I don't think it's Cantonese. Where I was reading, it just said Chinese, and Chinese is not a language.
No, you gotta update that wiki.
Yeah.
You gotta go do that yourself.
So I'm pretty sure it's Mandarin, because I think she mentioned speaking Mandarin. Yeah. She becomes really good friends with Torres, and she begins a relationship with Jimmy Palmer. Aww. They're so cute. And then we have the last regular. We have Alden Parker, who started in season 19. He becomes the new supervisionary agent of NCIS after Gibbs leaves. Shocking.
Well, he was old.
He was old. He finally, like, found peace in Alaska.
Oh.
So he just decided to leave. And so Alden Parker is, I'm not going to say the new Gibbs, because
I wrote that in my notes, but that's for shorthand.
But that's kind of what he did, yeah. So he was fired by the FBI because he wouldn't arrest Gibbs.
Oh.
And they're like, you didn't do what we said to do. You're fired. And then Director Vince is like, you want a job? So a few things about him, his family. We meet his father in one of the episodes, who was in the Navy. And then he has an ex-wife. Yeah.
Wait, I'm gonna be honest, I straight up never knew his name until this. Wait.
Alden Parker?
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Keep talking. I didn't know his name.
And then actually recently, here's my theory. I'm gonna talk about this because the season finale aired on Monday. He may have had a sister that died when she was young. Maybe. This is my
Wait.
Maybe.
Maybe?
This is what I'm assuming.
Okay.
Yeah. A few things about him. He loves pastries. He loves his plants. He's a plant dad.
Aww.
Through and through. Oh, specifically about the pastries though, like not just any pastries. Like he goes around town and finds the most authentic pastries from different like regions and cultures. He loves them.
Wow.
And then he is a novice bird watcher.
I love that.
Mm-hmm. So those are the main characters that we see throughout the years of NCIS. However, I do have listed a few recurring characters. I'm not going to tell you anything about them. I'm just going to list their names. So we have FBI agent Tobias Fornell.
Yeah, we love him.
We love Fornell. He's so like funny.
He's so
unserious about
he's
life.
Just like, yeah. And the relationship he has with Gibbs too, where it's just like they hate each other, but also they're getting dinner like every night. Friends. But they're also besties. Like, it's so funny.
And then we have retired NCIS agent Mike Franks, who is Gibbs's senior agent. So he's probie to Mike.
Yeah.
We have Diane Sterling, who we learned about a little bit earlier, which was Gibbs's second wife, but the reason why she is such a prominent relearned character is because she married Tobias.
And then also divorced him.
And then also got remarried, and then also had a child.
Yeah.
So
well, isn't the child with Tobias?
Tobias and Diane.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a kid together.
I thought the way you phrased it, I was like, wait. I thought the child was with
kids. Gibbs.
No, like I thought you were saying it was with her third husband.
Oh no. Oh, what's his name? Like Victor?
Why would I know that?
His name's like Victor or something. We have Michelle Lee, who the reason why she was a recurring. I'm not gonna say why she was a recurring because that's an episode, but she did have like a relationship with Jimmy. They slept together.
Yeah.
That was it. Then we have Ned Dornigat. Dorney. So the thing about Ned, is he was like he's gay.
Yeah.
That was like, because I'm pretty sure that was one of the first. It wasn't the first like gay, like theme or like time they've ever used a gay person, but he was the first like agent that they had that was gay.
What year did this take place?
Oh, when did they? Who was there? This would have been season 12.
A little late to be having your first gay character, I think.
Yeah.
Like if it was
not first like recurring character.
Yeah.
They had like dealt with other like.
Yeah.
Like they were thinking hate crimes for some murders. Anyways, we have Abigail Boren, who is just the female version of Gibbs, but for the Coast Guard.
Oh yeah, didn't they like have a whole thing?
They thought they were gonna have a whole thing because she's a redhead.
Oh wait, I'm thinking about the blonde girl.
Oh, the army.
Yeah, the army.
Captain,
yeah.
Captain. I think she was a captain. I didn't put her down because I don't remember her that well. And then we have Delilah Fielding.
Yeah.
Who is McGee's wife. You know, I wrote Adam Eshel on here and I don't remember why.
I don't know who that is.
He's I'm pretty sure he's a friend of Ziva's. I don't know why I wrote his name down. Anyways, so those are all the characters I have. And now we're gonna go into question time.
Okay.
Alrighty. So, here are my questions for you.
Okay. I'm scared.
First question. Who did Gibbs kill?
Oh, I don't know if I wrote down his name. Hold on. Oh, I did. Pedro Hernandez.
Yes!
I did!
Hooray! Now we're going to put a 1 next to that. Okay. What is the name of Tony and Ziva's child?
Tally. Tolly?
Yes. Okay. Who is Gibbs' mentor?
It was Mike Franks. I don't know why I turned to the page. I knew that.
Damn, these are maybe a little bit easier than I thought they were gonna be.
I have watched a lot of those episodes.
That's true.
Just like sitting in your room doing my homework, just hanging out.
What rank was McGee's father?
Oh,
that's the really hard one that I wrote.
Yeah. McGee, Tim. Oh no, I just wrote that he was in the Navy. I don't know. Is he like a captain? I don't know. An admiral?
Yes! I'm gonna give you 0.5 points because you said captain first.
Yeah, I was just gonna keep going until I got it. Not gonna lie.
Okay. Final question. What language does Knight speak?
Mandarin. We had a whole talk about it.
I
didn't know that before today, but it kind of stood out.
Anyways, so 4.5 points. Maybe I picked too easy of questions.
I don't know. I feel like you did pretty good in the last one, in my last episode. I think you did good on the questions. I don't remember.
Anyways.
I don't remember. It's been too long.
So thank you for listening to me blab about my favorite characters in the whole world. We will have more episodes to come about NCIS because I love talking about NCIS. It's my favorite thing in the world.
I know.
Guess what I'm going to do when we're done recording this?
Go watch NCIS.
Go watch NCIS. Anyways, next week, I don't know if we decided whether or not we wanted to do a U episode or if we wanted to do a combined episode.
I don't know. I feel like the idea for the combined episode that we had, I don't think I had enough. I
didn't have enough either. So
I have some notes. Maybe that'll just be one in the future. We'll keep track. We'll keep it in the back of our minds. So I think it'll be a me episode.
So it'll be an Easton episode, which will be exciting.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to talk about. I think I've decided that I'm not going to do a Dragon Age episode because I finished talking about Origins. So I think I'm going to do a one-off episode and then go into Dragon Age 2 is what I think.
Sounds good.
I don't know.
Alrighty, well then we will hopefully next week.
Hopefully.
If I can remember to start
get
filming.
It together. It's rough. It's rough.
It's really rough out here, dog. Anyway.
See ya.
See ya.